Now let's take another look at our Armed Forces Remembrance Day as we commemorate that day today. I'm now being joined from Abuja by a retired military officer and security consultant, Major General Cecil Esekaigbe. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know it's an emotional day for you. It tends to be for servicemen like yourself, feeling a sense of pride, and others celebrated with you as well. Everybody wears the emblems at this time of year. But how significant is this day for the average man in service?
Thank you very much. This actually started in 1918 after the armistice of the First World War, properly referred to as 11-11-11. That is 11 hour, 11 day, and 11th month of 1918, after the end of the First World War. So it's a military tradition, very solemn in the military global system, where you remember all the fallen heroes, those who have contributed to keeping their country safe, those who have fought, for the unification of the country, those who gave their today for tomorrow for the city's reign. So it is very highly emotional, and it's a very deep reminiscence of our contribution to nation building.
And when we look at the contribution to nation building, as you've said, in the last few years particularly, we've seen the security forces drafted to various states to respond to the insurgency, among other threats. How stretched would you say the armed forces are at this time?
The armed forces are very, very overstretched. First and foremost, the armed forces' main responsibility is the defense of our territorial integrity. But the internal security challenges, which are supposed to be on the purview of the Nigerian police force, have found themselves into the Nigerian armed forces. So the armed forces are battling with keeping the country together. They're also battling preparation for deterring external aggression when they arise. So it's a very, very Herculean task, and it's a very, very difficult period for the armed forces. They need the prayers, they need the support of the National Assembly, they need the support of the executive in proper funding and adequate preparation for taking care of exigencies and emergencies.
I know you talk about those who are sent to trouble spots. You see them in different operations. You see Python Dance, and then you see them in IDP camps as well. In terms of the living conditions or the working conditions of the average serviceman, on a day like this, is it something that still gives you a sense of pride, or how do you just see it?
Well, it's a very, very difficult scenario to describe, because the pride of a military man is to give his best to defend his country. And what matters is, after the death of that military person in service, he is to be quickly taken care of. So what are those measures that are put in place to properly address the shortcomings that follow the attendant death of those who have laid their lives for this country? For instance, globally, like in the United States of America, you have what they call the Gold Star. In the United Kingdom, you have the Elizabeth Cross. In Canada, you have the Memorial Cross. In Nigeria here, we need to bring some of these things forward for those who are living behind, who lost these loved ones, so that it will become a thing of pride. As a matter of fact, they should be celebrated. It does not just end in parade. In fact, there should be observance of many silence in various ministries. You don't have to declare them on holidays, because this is a very, very different and very, very calculated attempt to remember those who laid their lives for this country. So with this deep reflection of the past and this laying of wreath and all that, is to commemorate the unknown soldier that left from nowhere to nowhere, but only known by God. So it has been a milestone in commemorating those officers and men who lost their life in defense of their country. So the military need to be supported. The military need to be celebrated. Our venture into governance has kind of dampened the things the military is supposed to get. The promotion of the military to high heavens will be contributing right from the First and Second World Wars, the Civil War, and all the internal security challenges that we're having today. So this is the high time to continue to give what the military needs to do their task.
I mean, and finally now, my question to you, on an emotional day like this, even from the footage that we had, we see some of the widows of those who have been taken away from them. What do you think can be done, even if one is not honoring those who are left behind and they're not being treated right? What do you think should be done for the families of officers? You do hear reports that they're not actually well looked after. What's your advice, finally?
Well, the military has a very, very detailed program of taking care of the people that are left behind by the dead officers and men. We have various schemes, insurance, we have benevolent funds, we have all sorts of things that we use to cushion the effects of these pains. But they will never be enough, but the government need to do a lot, maybe to expand the horizon and make it very comfortable for those who are left behind. Because if you have a very, very sound welfare system, if you have a very, very sound package that, yes, if I go to war and die, my family will be taken care of, it's a moral booster and it's a tonic that the military need to continue to perform their duties.
All right, Security Consultant Major General Cecil Iseka-Igbe, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, and also to say thanks for what you do when you were in service and even right now as well on a day like this. Thank you.